Forget right and left. Focus on right and wrong. We need to get some things straight. There's division in America, always has been, okay? And there's no question our politics is poisonous. And the tone is set often at the top. But. I do not believe that's the end of the analysis. If you never believe anything else that I say, believe this. The fabric of our people, of Americans, is not as loose as the threads on social media. The degree of division is by design. It is force-fed for dollars by companies and cagey influencers. That is why this is so often like a different world from your job, your family, your people, your pursuits. Why do you think small talk is so universal when you're getting together with other parents or people or a party or whatever it is? We all hear about the same things. Hey, everybody healthy? Oh, yeah. Need anything? Oh, yeah. How's the job going? Good, good. Yeah, I hope the weather holds. Why? Because, and then what's the last thing that people say now these days? You see that crazy shite on social media? Why? Because Americans have widely shared concerns. We have similar values. We have a shared sense of right and wrong. And the reality, that reality is getting twisted by this insistence on dividing us into right versus left for the advantage of the few in the parties and the players around them. And I can prove it on a micro and macro level. A little example is why I'm trending, okay? It's not because of what I said. It's because of how somebody twisted what I said to make it a threat. And that was picked up by the algorithms. Think about that. My video of me talking about Scott Jennings and what I'm worried about, okay, that's not what is all over. It's someone's take on it. Of course I didn't threaten. My point is not to be a bully, but to point out the risk of all this taunting and bullying. How are you going to stop me from calling them illegals? How are you going to stop me? The escalation is getting increasingly extreme, and I am worried about violence, okay? It is contagious. Now, what I just said is never going to trend by design, but you twist it to Cuomo threatens to beat someone up for calling undocumented people illegals. Ka-ching! Outrage, clicks, by design. And I can show it to you on the macro level. The majority sees right and wrong the same way in many supposed battle lines. Example, a majority says Renee Good should not have been shot and killed by that agent. By the way, it'd be nice if the DOJ was investigating. That'd be nice. That'd be helpful. Right now, only 28% say the shooting was justified. I know it doesn't seem like that on social media. That's the point. Because once you force people to pick a side, right versus left, people start to own positions that they wouldn't otherwise. Nearly 7 in 10 Republicans say the shooting was justified. 9 in 10 Democrats say it was unjustified. See, if you think like a critical thinking American and not a patsy partisan, we're going to come out largely in the same place. That is why I see hope in the fact that the fastest growing part of our electorate are voters who overtly reject being Republican or Democrat. Independents, 6 in 10 say the shooting was unjustified. The majority wants to enforce laws, including immigration laws, and the majority cares how the government does that. 8 in 10 Americans say undocumented migrants who've committed violent crimes should get deported. 6 in 10 say ICE is being too tough. Put us into parties. 94% of Democrats say ICE is too tough. 81% of Republicans say ICE isn't tough enough or doing the job just right. Again, nearly 7 in 10 say ICE is being too tough when you look at independents. Why? They're not picking a side. The players and platforms are forcing us to take sides and doing so for profit, financial, and power advantage. That's the truth. And by the way, that's on an issue that has been hyped for so long. They've been working us on the threat of migrants and all that. It's been so constant, okay? And we're still in the same place as a majority. Other supposed controversies, it's much more stark. 8 in 10 say biological men shouldn't play in women's sports. A majority also say, but you should respect people, whatever their identity, and they should have rights. But no, kids shouldn't be making decisions about how to change their bodies. 8 in 10 want universal background checks when buying a gun. 8 in 10 support extending the ACA subsidies. And on the latest issue that's supposedly a big dividing line, Greenland, nearly 9 in 10 of us say, please, don't start a fight over Greenland, please. So I reject the idea that we are doomed. People in power are doing their damnedest to drive us apart, no question. But my best advice to our elected officials, and certainly our president, is if you care about your legacy, stop doing what amps up a magnified minority and listen to the majority. Hey, maybe the president has heard this message because you saw how he shifted on Greenland today.
Would you like me to say a few words of Greenland? We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. Okay? Now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force.
Now, do I think this is, hey, I love the new you? No, it could be a one-off. But the president and his people should look, by the way, at the relief, at the acceptance of that notion that is almost universal, okay? Look seriously at the realities and the numbers. Not just approvals, that's fickle. How Americans feel about the administration's priorities. 6 in 10 of us say they are not focusing on the right things enough. 3 in 4 say he's not focused enough on lowering prices. More than half say he's actually hurt the cost of health care. Go after those issues and seize the majority. Go after Congress and say, do your damn job. Bring in the heads of the health care companies and yell at them the way you yell at everybody else. And no, I'm not going to say, see, he chickened out on Greenland. I don't want to punish the guy for saying the right thing. I'm not going to attack someone for making a change that's for the better just because I want advantage against them. That's what is killing us, okay? I don't want to see just one side have advantage over the other. I want the majority to get to a better place. I want our small businesses to get this foot off their neck of tariffs and all these other problems. That's not about one side wins, the other side loses. It's about getting away from the sides. That's what I want you to think about. Because I'm telling you, it's not a take, okay? It's not a perspective. It is a durable reality. George Washington used 2 of the best minds of his era to write a farewell address, okay? Madison and Hamilton. And he had both of them put to the same task. Convince these people to not get caught up in parties. Convince them to avoid sectarian struggles. They will destroy this young country. He was right then and now. Be a nation. That is all. Think as a critical thinking American. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.